Last month, I made some of the best drawings I've ever done. However, there were a few issues such as the sad excuses of feet. This month, I tried to work on some of these issues as well as do some more full drawings. Starting with the first drawing I made this month. This was super out of my comfort zone with the foreshortening, which I've never practiced before, the hands, and the general pose. When I worked on poses in September, I drew 100 poses in a week. However, I still struggled so much with this pose. I think the knee starts way too late, but otherwise, I think that this leg is okay. This other leg, however, has problems. I can't even tell what's going on with the leg. It's not made better by the really weird foot. To fix this, I need to work on 3 main things: anatomy, posing, and perspective. I can work on both anatomy and posing by doing reference studies. I love using PoseManiacs for this. However, I honestly don't really know how to work on perspective. If you have any advice, then please put them in the comment section. This hand, however, is so good. Maybe even the best hand I've ever drawn. It's not perfect, but I'm still very happy with it. The other hand is also really good. However, I've still got one big problem with the hand. The wrists. They just don't look right. You'd think drawing 100 hands in a week would help with this, but clearly not. To fix this, I'll need to do more reference studies. Again, I'll be using PoseManiacs for this. Moving on to the face, I really like the clear head shape, but again, there are issues. The eyes feel really far apart from each other, and I regret making the line art such a noticeable colour. The value isn't that offensive, but the hue definitely is. I probably sound like a broken record, but I can use the PoseManiacs website to practice the head anatomy. However, there are definitely better methods for this. I'll have to look for one that works for me, but I do like using facial references as seen on my video and learning how to draw heads, but I should try something new to improve further. I've been trying to change my art style to feature less line art, and I love my application of this on the hair. I think the shading really compensated for the lack of line art, even replacing it to an extent. I do think that I should have used more colour variation in the shading, but otherwise I love the hair. I liked a lot of this drawing and learnt a lot on what I want to improve. But there are a few things that need more attention, specifically the clothes. They're just so plain, it feels like a visual hole in the drawing. The clothes need folds in order to look better. It would both look more realistic and add colour variation, as it's mostly the exact same shade of pink throughout, which is so boring. I need to study folds and fabric in general in order to get over these issues. The other issue I noticed is the feet. I mean, what is that? As I said in the intro, I started working on that this month, so my future drawings aren't going to look so cursed. Overall, despite glaring issues, I love this drawing. As always, I need to work on anatomy, I just can't escape it. But otherwise, I really like this drawing. Since it's hyped up as one of the most annoying things to draw for beginner artists, I was quite worried about this, but learning to draw feet hasn't been all that bad. Apart from the 3/4 angle, that is a nightmare and I do not like it. But I found that not all angles are that hard to learn. The front angle is pretty easy, though it is the most simple one. I'm also trying to get away from drawing front angles after exclusively drawing it for the past 2-ish years. However, I was able to apply what I had learned immediately in these 2 bases and included them in my latest drawings, which we'll get into later in the video. Unfortunately for me, the side angle wasn't very easy to learn though. It took quite a few attempts to feel like it vaguely resembled a foot. However, I eventually figured it out, something I can't say for the 3/4 angle. However, I can say with utmost confidence that I do not like this angle for drawing anything. I feel like they're just getting worse with every attempt. Obviously, the solution to this is just practice, which is unfortunate. If you have any tips on drawing the feet, especially in this horrid angle, then please put them in the comments. I've been learning how to draw feet from this video, which is linked in the description. It's a super good, well explained video and I've used it exclusively to learn how to draw feet at this point. Moving on to something I've been working on behind the scenes for about a month or so. I've wanted to do some character designs for a project, and the first one I made was this one for my character Lydia. The colours aren't set in stone, hence why they're so random, but I love her overall design. She's a part of a bigger world that you'll see more of in later videos, so I'm really taking time considering all the design elements for her, as you'll notice in my unreasonably big Pinterest board for her. This isn't her final design, just the first draft, but I'm super happy with the overall design elements. For her hair, I put my signature floating bun and made this braid. I've never drawn braids before, but I think that they actually look quite good. Her fringe is a bit plain, but I think that the braid balances that out. This was actually my first time drawing boots properly, so I'm super happy with how they turned out. Normally when I draw shoes, they look terrible, so I'm very proud of these. I think learning feet just before starting this drawing was definitely beneficial in how the boots turned out. One thing I'm not so happy about is the leg pouch thing. It just looks wrong. I'll have to work on this as I think it's important to her design as an adventurer, but it just looks bad in this state. She will have a top on, I just hadn't decided what the top I wanted to give her yet was, so I never drew one. I really like the cape though, and her gloves are good both aesthetically and for storytelling. I've been meaning to get more into character design, but since I've been focusing on the overall fundamentals that I lack, like posing and anatomy, I haven't had the time. This was a super fun exercise to get all of my ideas out and see what works and what doesn't. If you have any advice for practicing character design, then feel free to put them in the comments. I also made the first draft for another character in the same world, Sebastian. Starting with things I like, the hair is perfect. I'm terrible at drawing men's hair, so I'm super proud of this. It's the right length and the style looks good. Drawing his trench coat was quite the struggle, though I adore it now. It was quite difficult since for a while it looked like a dress, which wasn't what I was going for. I went through a lot of iterations of the shape and landed on this one. I don't usually draw men's clothes, so I found this design quite difficult. It's definitely something I'll need to work on in the future. I think that I'll have a coat and no coat design for him, as the trench coat covers up a lot, making his silhouette quite boring and unoriginal. However, I love the addition of the belt since it's very good for storytelling. Again, it's something that will go through many iterations as I figure out the general design I want, but at the moment it does what I need it to do. Moving on to something I absolutely detest in this design, the shoes. I've been pondering on how to make them look less boring for a while and I still just don't know. I think that the shoes can be good for the silhouette, so I want to work on making them more visually interesting. I also want to make their appearance have purpose for storytelling's sake. To do this, I think that I'll just have to look through Pinterest more to find references and elements in boots that I like to poach for my design. I found that this process takes so long though. Drawing this design, which is pretty straightforward, took an hour and 41 minutes. Most of this drawing is trench coat. How on earth did it take so long? I'm not sure about how I can improve this though. Next month, I'll continue working on anatomy and try to apply any tips you put in the comment section. I'd also like to do some more work on character design to improve what I've done so far. You can see just how much I've improved in the past 11 months since I started focusing on art using this playlist. I post art evaluations every month, so subscribe to see what I do in December. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like and subscribe to support my channel.